Okay. So then we got on, and then the webcam that has a microphone that I use for Microsoft Teams uh, was not working correctly as far as being someone that talks on here. So I just whipped out a quick microphone that I could plug in over USB. So if I'm going to talk to you, I need to put headphones on because I have to have my volume down on my speakers. Otherwise, I hear myself. So if you give me a sec, let me see what I can do. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Check, check. 1, 2, 2, 2. What? Okay. And now I get what you're saying, Bulldog. So yeah, it's paused. Well, if he's burning one down, then getting a fresh beer. It's only fair. Just duet. We are not peaches and herb. Sorry. So when he says burn one down, I think I know what he means, but or does he mean that he's actually just burning one of the trees that's in his yard and burning it to the ground? It's a valid question. He doesn't clarify. Just LOL, who knows anymore? You did say you live close to the mystery. So, yeah, anything can happen. All right. Seeing a bunch of green on the screen. I assume the burning has commenced or done. Yeah, the mystery spot is cool. It really is cool. And I've never seen it in my entire life until last year. I actually went there last year. All right, just two. Let me know when you're going to get on them. Lori. Rave parties, huh? Well, it's kind of like finding out about the stock that's already blasted off. By the time you get there, it's on its way back down. You got to get into the in crowd and be that crazy bunch of fools that goes nuts and causes damage and pisses off neighbors until they call the cops. And then you get to run away. Yeah, Cupid. That's my 20s. Oh no, nah, that was my teens. It was high school parties that were like that. It was somebody's parents went away and everyone found out. People that don't even know who this person is. And then once the cops are there, run away. Oh.
What's up?
Hey. What's up, Just Two?
Not much. It reminds me of some stories in my past.
Yeah. There was one time that I ran out of hours because the cops were coming, and there was a girl that I came with. She wasn't my girlfriend or anything. She was just a friend, and I tried to get in the car, and it was the side door was locked, and she was like, "No, the cops are coming. I gotta go." I was like, "No." So I'm holding onto the door, and she takes off, and I'm holding onto the door as I'm dragging my feet on the sidewalk. Oh, I got all scraped up. Oh yeah, it was bad.
Oh man, what a turd she was for that.
Turd in the punch bowl. Yep.
Turd in the punch bowl. Man. I don't know if I'd even ever talk to her again. I don't know what I'd say to her.
Yeah. Well, I have not talked to her probably since high school. It was just one of those high school things you do.
Yeah, for sure. No, good. Oh man, but afterwards, boy, I wouldn't have anything to say to her.
Yeah. I hear you.
You dragged me.
Yeah. I could have died, woman.
Yeah. You could have crushed me. Man, one time we were at this party and honestly, there's like about 17 stories I could tell you from this one party. But by the time that it ended and we were all getting arrested, they had to bring a school bus to arrest everyone,
No.
and they didn't. And then they didn't have enough handcuffs because we're in like a small town. So they had to handcuff us all. Like each of us got one cuff. They were like cuffing us to each other because they didn't have enough handcuffs for us all. It was pretty funny. Yeah,
So
nothing-
you're
nothing
the
like
hu-
crazy.
you guys are the human centipede of handcuffs.
Straight up, dude. On a short bus. They literally like went and got a school bus from the school district, like where all the buses were, and like brought it into this neighborhood at a house party and hauled us all out of there and put us on that bus. It was so funny. Man, it took us straight to jail. And it was nothing even like major happened. It wasn't like this thing was like this crazy. It wasn't like, what was it, that movie, like Party X or whatever? It wasn't like that. It was just the party. It got a little out of hand, but mainly it was just neighbors complaining. But then when the cops got there, they were like, holy crap, we have to like arrest all these people.
Oh,
And they're like,
and nobody ran away, apparently.
oh, well, so that's part of the other 17 stories I
Oh.
could tell you from the same party.
All right.
So like, so we heard the knock on the door, right? And me and my buddy, in particular, we knew right away that was police. Everyone else is still partying and la-di-da-di-da, you know, like not realizing. They just think, I don't know, they think someone's banging on the door being funny or showing up late or something. I don't know. Me and my one buddy looked at each other and we didn't even say any words. We were just like, we just knew, time to go. So we looked at each other and without a word, we just left. Without saying bye to anybody, we tried to leave, I should say. And so we went straight to the back door. We knew that was police at the front door. We went straight to the back door, opened the back door, went out onto the back deck, and literally was about to jump over the railing on the deck. And we hear this voice out of the darkness go, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And then click, 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 all these flashlights started turning on in the backyard. And it's just me and my buddy on the back deck, and we're literally surrounded 180 degrees by flashlights. Like, there's like 8 or 9 of them out there just surrounded the deck. So we were like, oh, we ran to the back, you know, went straight and went to hop, and they're like, don't do it. So then we ran to the other side, like to the left, and then click, click, more flashlights as we were climbing over. You know, it was just like, we went straight and tried to jump, and they were like, don't do it. And we were like, all right. So we went left and tried to jump, and they were like, nope, we're here too. Like,
Oh, God.
so we were just like, oh, man. We just went back inside and sat down.
Oh, I've
We're
never
like,
been that
oh.
caught before. Oh,
Yeah, bro, we walked in and we were like, yo, this ain't a joke. Like, we are surrounded by police. Like, it's over. Like, it's. Oh, it was funny. It was a good time, man. It was good times.
yeah. Good times now. Thinking about it.
Oh, it was hilarious, though, bro. Literally, I mean, it happened so fast, too. It was like bang, 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 bang. Me and my buddy looked at each other, went straight out the back door, went to jump off the deck, and it was just like, nope, click, 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 flashlights like left and right. Oh, man. They were like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Don't do it. Don't
At
make us
least you-
chase you.
Yeah, at least he said something. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Instead of letting us jump down and then just tackling us or something, yeah.
Right.
But you know, I mean, we're high school kids. You know, they can't just put the beat down on us and get away with that. You know,
That's
small town. You know. But yeah, it was a pretty wild night. They had to bring a whole school bus to come arrest us all.
Buzz.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, since I have you on, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know I sound like I'm like interviewing you. It-
No.
I didn't even know I was going to be on the mic. I've never been on the mic here before, by the way. I think you probably know that.
Yeah, yeah. I never
Um,
was on a mic before I got on this mic. So,
so next week,
mhm.
the 27th,
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Santa Cruz, and I know
Yeah, yeah.
I needed to let you know that.
Yeah,
So
definitely, man. Just
if
just
you're available, we can meet up somewhere and just have a drink or just bullshit for a minute.
yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Definitely
Okay.
message me whenever you're in town. I think you said you're staying at the Dream Inn, so like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'll be at the
No,
Dream Inn. So I don't know what's easier. Like I'm not sure where you live, like close to there, to where it's
mhm,
easy just to come into there,
totally.
or
I mean,
okay.
it'll be easier for me to come to Santa Cruz because I'm like by myself and not with a whole family, and you know, regardless, you're welcome. Your whole family is welcome to come see my house if you want. But I am about 20 minutes, probably 30 minutes from the Dream Inn. 30 minutes tops, more like 23, 25, whatever. Um, from like my house to the Dream Inn. Um, and it's like, like if you were to follow me there, it's super simple. But if I was to try and give you directions, it might be a little confusing. So,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, man. If you want to come out and kick it up at my house in the mountains, you can come do that. I can come to Santa Cruz. We can go somewhere and have a beer, whatever. We got a little bar in my hometown here, so it's like you don't have to get lost in the mountains. You can just come to my little hometown. That's like 15 minutes outside of Santa Cruz. You know, so like
Okay.
regardless, like you won't be if you were to come all the way to me regardless, you will be no more than 25 minutes from your hotel. Like, so even if you came like all the way to my house in the mountains, you know what I mean?
Cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
so it's not
Sounds
that
good.
far. Yeah, not far, not confusing. It's all good. You just hit me up when you're in town and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
That's for
will
sure.
do. Well, I know I can't text you, right? Because you don't get text in the mountains.
No, texting is the best. You can text me. I may not get it until I drive down the hill and activate my phone service.
Yeah, that means you have to drive downhill to get it, though.
Well,
So,
yeah, but I got to do that every day, and I
oh,
just got to do it once a day. So it's like
oh, okay.
it's like in the middle of the night for whatever reason, my phone will just stop. The Wi-Fi calling will just stop working, and so every morning I got to get up and decide like, all right, do I want to drive, 5 minutes down the road, 10 minutes down the road, go activate my phone service, or do I want to just say F having a phone for the day?
Yeah, yeah.
But I do that every morning, man. I drive down and grab my phone service. So it's weird. I drive down the hill, I turn off my Wi-Fi calling and turn it back on, and then just turn around and go home, and it'll work all day. But sometime overnight while I'm asleep, it'll stop working. So when I wake up, I gotta do it all over again every day. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a ghost in the machine, it's a hardware thing, a software thing. Like, I think there's just something glitchy wrong with this phone. Like, nothing else really makes sense. Like, there's no reason, like, there's no real reason for for that
Yeah.
to happen that
Oh,
way.
I hear you, but
Yeah.
it could be aliens, but this is not the
Right?
fog.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if it was fog, they would tell us
Yeah.
what's going on.
That's right. But yeah, I did buy this particular cell phone from uh a man who runs a cell phone repair shop, but he didn't sell the phone in his store. He sold it on Facebook Marketplace, and he barely speaks English. So I don't know. I feel like I might have got a janky phone.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Yes.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
like just one of
It's
those. It's
been
just a ghost in the
it's
machine. It's
it's
just my
been through
Wi-Fi
some
calling.
abuse, maybe. Yeah.
Right, right. But it's like that's the only thing wrong with it is like it's just my Wi-Fi calling every day. I got to go like reactivate it, but I have to be in actual service to reactivate it. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I don't know. Not that big a deal. But it's just annoying more than anything.
But if I call the number, it'll go through or no?
So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, mainly just text me, because I will definitely get the text when I go into town,
Okay.
like, but it's like if you try to call me, always try to call me. It'll either ring or it won't, right? If
Okay.
it rings, I'll answer. If it doesn't ring, then I haven't. Basically, that just means I haven't been to town to reactivate my phone service for the day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay.
usually like earlier in the day, I don't have phone service because I kind of like I will drive down just to get the phone service, but I hate doing that. Like I like to wait till I have like a reason to drive down, so I don't end up making like 2 or 3 trips into town a day, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll wait it out, till I have a reason to go into town. So a lot of times in the morning, basically, I don't have phone service. Because
Gotcha.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I know when we went to the mystery spot, that like as soon as you go in that whole vicinity,
oh yeah,
you lose signal. And
oh yeah,
luckily, like the car like remembers what turns you need to take. So
right,
like
right.
we didn't need a map. Like it still like led us to the right place. But yeah, like you couldn't call anybody. That's for sure.
No, yeah. If
I
you
know
break
that.
down or something, you're walking, buddy, till you like someone picks you up, or you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's wild out here sometimes, man. It's
Yeah.
kind of sketchy, It really is. It's kind of like you have to be prepared. Like you can't just come out here on a pipe dream and like I don't know, like not know what you're doing and live because like you're gonna come into some problems. Like
Yeah.
like I have to have a generator, right? And I have to know how that generator works, and I have to know how to hook it up into the breaker on my house, and I have to know how to hook that up properly so that it doesn't kill someone working on the line the next day by feeding back into the system. I have to know how to hook that up properly so that I don't blow the whole circuit on my house and like mess up my whole grow op. I mean, it's like you got to
Yeah.
kind of know what you're doing just to live out here because
Yeah.
just for that reason alone, I mean, we lose power on a regular basis. Like that's just a normal thing,
Really? On a
Yeah,
regular basis?
on a regular basis, bro. I mean, and typically it's pretty short lived. It'll be a few hours, maybe a day or two, but sometimes it'll be a whole week without power. There was one time last year we went a whole month without power, just living on a generator. You know what I mean?
Dude.
It's wild, yeah, man. It's just it's not that we're that far off in the cut, but it's like we're in the mountains and it's trees, it's just branches and trees and you get a tree down and you take out all the power lines and the internet and it backs things up for a while and our neighborhood's kind of low priority, and so it's like
Yeah.
they go repair all the rich neighborhoods first, they come to us last. So typically our neighborhood is not getting worked on. It's us down there with chainsaws clearing the roads and waiting on the power company to come fix the lines. Like we do all the hard work. They just show up and fix the lines. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a trip. I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's not like that everywhere where I live. It's pretty specific to this very small area, this neighborhood basically that I live in. You know, it's just a kind of uh, I don't know. It's a one way in, one way out canyon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just you know, we're
If you're talking around mystery spot, and the only reason I say that way, you
Mhm.
really go into no man's land to
Oh,
get there.
straight up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of these roads, like, man, yeah, it's you get to driving on them, and you're like, where the hell am I at right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even when you know what road you're on and you know where it starts and where it stops, while you're driving
Yeah.
on that road, you're just lost. You're just like, what? Am I on the right road? Like, what, where am I at right now? Like, and it all looks the same. So it's like, I don't, it's pretty wild. I love it. I love it. I got nothing bad to say about it, but it is challenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear
It's
you, man.
challenging.
What brought you to the Bulldog site? I've always been curious about that, about all the DJs, but
Um,
I've only had the chance to talk to you to ask you.
so I honestly started investing only in 2020, March 2020, when COVID tanked the market. Um, well, I guess let me backpedal just a little bit. I've always, since I was young, wanted to get into the stock market, right? And was just always too poor and like intimidated by it, like overwhelmed, like what, like how, like what is
Same
even the
here.
first thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
how do you even go about it? Like wah wah woo, So anyway, fast forward, I kind of, looking back, if I could go back in time and tell myself anything, it would be throw $100 at the GD stock market. Like it's not like I'm looking at it like I don't have any money to put at it, but really looking back, I could have been throwing $50 a week or a month, $100 a month or something, and imagine where I'd be now, you know,
Sure.
10 years later, right?
Sure.
Just from doing that alone.
Yep.
Anyway, fast forward, COVID tanked the market in March, and I had a little money sitting around, and I was like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting on. This is the signal. Like you don't have to know anything about the stock market to do well in the stock market right now. Everything is down. I know that. The whole market has crashed. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I was like, this is it. I'm getting in. So I got in with like $1,500, I think, and I spread it around in a few different. Just I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you a few, but couldn't tell you all of them. And so then spent about 9 months just investing alone. you know, no
Mm-hmm.
mentor, no YouTube, no nothing. Just on my cell phone. No computer. I didn't even have a computer, right? The com- the I'm telling.
Computer?
No computer, no nothing. Just a cell phone.
Oh,
Just a cell phone.
damn.
Yeah. So I did that for like nine or 10 months, and then that's I guess about the time things started getting real crazy with the GameStop and AMC.
Yeah.
So that's when I started trying to get more into trading instead of just depositing money into what I considered, long-term investments,
Right. Yep.
because that's what I spent most of that year doing. Basically, it was just throwing money at the market, not really trading, you know what I mean? Just investing.
Mm-hmm.
And that did me wonders, it gave me wiggle room, it gave me play, pretty much everything I put money into was up because obviously Corona,
Yep.
so that gave me some wiggle room. That gave me some leeway to make some mistakes, pay for some lessons, um, that maybe would have ruined me, had I just got in and made those mistakes without having that foundation, Anyway, so that's about the time I guess when I was like, oh man, this is a whole different animal, like this is whoa, like all right, what's going on? So I started looking on YouTube, and basically even then I was just YouTubing different streams. I found a few that I liked, and but there was no commentary or anything. It was literally just it would just be like our stream, and how it has like several different stocks up, but it would
Yeah.
only be like 4 or 5 of them, but it would have the level 2 data. I was addicted to the level 2 data. So I would just YouTube stuff and like look for people that were showing level 2 data on stocks that I was in, you know what I mean? So that's what kind of started my YouTube journey with stocks and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and that was cool. I was super happy with that for a while. Like, holy cow, this level 2 data, this is great, you know? One day just stumbled onto the stream and, and I was like, whoa, commentary, this is cool, you know? Bulldog was talking and wah wah woo, and I'm like typing stuff in the chat and people are responding to me, and then the guy that's talking on the microphone is responding to me, and I'm like, well, this is cool. Um, so yeah, just ended up sticking around kind of, for a little while and just kind of cutting up in the chat room for a while, just like, anybody else, everybody else, and kind of started cutting up with Bulldog a little bit and started talking to him a little bit behind the scenes, and then this was before the Discord was really fleshed out.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, it kind of was like I'm like, hey man, I really love what you're doing here. Like, let me know if you need some help. And he reached out and was like, yeah. And I don't know. So mainly was kind of helping out behind the scenes for a while. At one point, he asked me to come on the microphone, and I was like, hell no. I was like
I
straight
know,
up.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. Like whatever you need help with other than being on the microphone, I got you, but I'm not coming on the microphone. So, kind of just kept pitching in a little bit behind the scenes. I don't know if you're aware, but I'm streaming that volume the scanner, in the Discord. That's me streaming that. Um,
Oh,
so it's
I
like little stuff like that behind the scenes, and then and just like kind of reaching out to different members in the community. Like, I see them asking something in the main chat, and I would just message them, DM them, and I guess a few people kind of reached out and was like, hey, this guy just do drugs, he's really cool and helped out a lot, and he mentioned that to me, and I don't know, that kind of like that was kind of a turning point for me. I was like, wait, like I'm actually doing some good for these people. Like I don't know, because like I never really thought that I I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
like this has been I still feel like I'm on a learning curve. I feel like I'm always going to be learning in this market. Um,
Yeah.
but that was kind of
And
a turning point where I realized, like, well, maybe what I think and say does have value, and if I'm helping people, that's pretty cool. And I don't know. So at that point, West Side had been brought on the microphone, um, and then so I guess not too long after that, I finally hopped on, only because Bulldog and Westside was on the mic. Like, it wasn't like a, hey, come on the mic and do your thing. It was like a, hey, let's cut up and chat. What's up? Blah blah blah. And I don't know, it kind of felt comfortable. And
yeah.
after uh, 1 or 2 days of just cutting it, I think it must have been a weekend. Actually, it was 420 was my first official solo day. So the 2 days before 420, it was just me, Bulldog, and Westside just kind of chopping it up on the mic together. And then after that, it was, I don't know, here I am, been doing it ever since. But before that, I spent a lot of time in the voice chat in the Discord,
Okay.
and just talking to people and like, whatever, blah blah blah. And again, it kind of led to there, like people asking questions and us, going over things. And I had a couple buddies. We were in there all the time together, and we were just kind of in the voice chat, just looking for plays, and we were just doing our research and stuff. And uh, you know, I realized wait a minute, I can just do this on the mic. Like there's no difference, like really, and that kind of took away a lot of the discomfort, like the fear of being on the
Yeah.
microphone, like I was
Right.
like, wait a minute, I'm already doing this. Now there's just gonna be more people listening, like it's the only difference. And they can't talk back. I guess that's different. But anyway, I don't know. So I guess I just rambled a whole bunch, but that's kind of how it all came to be.
No, you rambled well. A lot of what you said was kind of how I came to be here as well on
Nice.
this stream, and
Mhm.
I was